Roman numerals. This is page 244 in the textbook. We're going to be looking at a counting system that really is only used anymore in the beginning of books. If you look when a book was copyrighted, it'll be in Roman numerals. And about the only other time you'll see Roman numerals is in the Super Bowl when they list the what Super Bowl it is. It can be used in other places, but it's really losing its place in counting. The numbers that we use today are based on place values, so we would say that's 5, 10, 100. That's the ones place, tens place, hundreds place. But Roman numerals are based on rules. There is no place value. There are rules of how you write Roman numerals, and then from there, that is how you would count. So we're going to go through the rules, and I'm going to give you some examples, and then you'll complete 1 through 14 on page 245. So the first rule for Roman numerals is, well, let's first go over the value. I is equal to 1, V is 5, X is 10, L is 50, C is 100, D is 500, and M is 1000. So those are the only numerals that there are, but the rules is what will create all the other numbers. So first, number 1, when a numeral is repeated, the value is repeated. Okay, so if you have X, X, okay, X is 10, so X plus X equals 20, okay? So this is a rule. When you repeat a numeral, the value is repeated. Number 2, though, says that a numeral may not be repeated more than 3 times. So we would not have X, 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 okay? That would be wrong because it's more than 3 times. So how would I write 40? I would have X, L, okay? And the rule for this is later in the list here, but this is how we would write 40, X, L. Number 3, V, L, and D are never repeated, all right? So you can repeat X, and V, and I, and C, and M, but you do not repeat V, L, and D, okay? So we would not, if we were going to put 10, we would not do VV, okay? So V, L, and D are never repeated. Number 4, a smaller numeral after a larger numeral, you will add, okay? So for this one, we'll do C, X, okay? C is 100, X is 10. So we're going to add these, so this will be 110. All right. Rule 5, if the smaller numeral is before a larger numeral, we are going to subtract. Okay, so if we have X, C, okay, so X is 10, C is 100, X is smaller, so I'm going to subtract. 100 minus 10 equals 90. All right. Number 6, V, L, and D are never subtracted. Okay, so if you have one where there's a smaller number before V, L, or D, then V, L, and D are never subtracted. So if you did Vx, all right, we got a smaller number first, and then X, which is larger, That's incorrect. You wouldn't even do anything because you never subtract V, L, or D. Rule 7, never subtract more than one numeral. All right, so here we have B. All right, let's do it like this first. Let's do I, X. Okay, that's smaller numbers before a larger number, so we know we would subtract, but we can't do it because we cannot subtract two numbers. We can only subtract one. So that is not equal to 8 because you can only subtract one number. So the proper way to write 8 would be using Rule 4, smaller number after a larger number, add. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so these rules all work together. You'll probably have to keep looking at them, and I'm sure there's a lot of resources on the internet to help you if you get confused, but it's really not that bad. Just keep looking back at these rules. And then Rule 8, I before V and X before L and C, and C before D and M. So what's happening here, you can only use the next two largest numbers. So here we have I, the next two largest numbers are V and X. So I will come before V and X, but you wouldn't put I before L. Okay, L is 3 letters away from I. So you can only do the next two largest. Okay, so X is 10. The next two largest numbers is L and C. All right, so you wouldn't put XD. All right, you could only go to C. You can only go up to the next two largest numbers. And then for C, the next two numbers that you could add to it or write with it would be D and M. So it can only be the next two largest numbers from whatever number you write. Okay, so that is where the chart will come in to help you with that. So do your best on 1 through 14. And some of them, they're going to give you the Roman numerals and you're going to write it in Arabic or what we use now. And then they have it in Arabic and you're going to put it in Roman numerals. So just kind of a flip-flop of the two. And then there's 2 word problems at the bottom. And like I said, there's a lot of resources, I'm sure, for Roman numerals on the internet. You can find you another video to help you if you need it.